Yes, welcome everybody for this project Q&A. It's been a while we didn't do it. Many new people have joined us. Um, there might be questions that have not found an answer yet. Might it be on the business model, on the company, on the latest announcements, on the CSR, the CSR 25? And I wanted to open a space for you guys to be able to ask any question that you need an answer to on any part of the project at this point. And if you are a leader who is already engaged in our business, if you have questions that your team is asking you and you don't know what to answer, this is the moment, yeah? So the way that I would like to start is ask you guys to type the questions in the chat because I might want to read a few questions and then weave an answer that answers several questions at the same time. And while you guys think about the questions that you want to ask, instead of us staying here waiting for the questions to come, I would like to share you a new creation of mine, which is kind of a recap of what we do and why it's relevant. So the story there is that to change the system, to change the paradigm, which is we have so much trash in nature, how do we fix that? Well, we need to give value to the plastic waste. Something that has value is not going to stay long in nature. That's how humans work at the moment on the planet. So, how to give value to the plastic waste? We need to create a system that creates value for plastic waste to be recycled. And that's the way that I like to present it. So, we have the problem, the solution, and the value creation. It's very simple. You might have seen these images before. I just reorganized it a little bit. So, the problem, it's the plastic waste, of course, which pollutes the ecosystem and really represents an untapped resource. When we look at the amount of trash today that is just laying there in nature, it's absolutely astonishing. It's 20 times more than what we produce every year. So there is a huge resource waiting to be used and at the moment polluting. Now, the solution which we are bringing with Corsair, I like to call infinite recycling technology. That's the way that is the most easy for people to understand without going to the details of pyrolysis and advanced recycling. We can just say it's infinite recycling because that's what it is. We can recycle this to infinity without loss of quality. And now what's genius about this business model, and that's what first struck me already almost 3 years ago when I started to hear about it. So now 3 years later, it's still the same thing that I'm passionate about amongst other things. It's that we not only create value one time, but two times by doing that. So the first value creation is the service. We have cleaned up the environment, we have recycled waste and cleaned up our planet. That has value to companies which need to offset their footprint. They need to participate for their sustainability goals or for their brand image or to comply with upcoming regulations. And that other plastic credit companies do that. But what we do also is a product. We actually create advanced bio oil that Corsair owns and then sells to the petrochemical companies. So we do the work one time and two things of value appear. The product, the oil, which goes to the petrochemical companies, and then the plastic credit, which goes to the community first, Amplivo, and which then goes to the market. And that's what's really genius about it. Because not only we create value one time with the oil, but two times with the plastic credit. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys as to set the context. In which piece do we need to dive in? Let me look at the questions here. All right. Again, please type the question in the chat so that I can see where the group wants to go with these questions. Okay. So no problem. I can talk about this one first, which is the original CSR price and the buyback program. So if you're new and you joined since 2025, you're not um, maybe aware of what was happening before 2025. So let me just recap. The company has created the first plastic credit called the CSR back in 2020 and ended that program end of December last year. So for the first 4 years of plastic collection and recycling, it would create the original CSR. And since we entered in 2025, now the company is generating a new type of plastic credit called CSR 25 because we're in the year 2025. Now they're different. The one from this year got an upgrade. It has the location and the time of the recycling, which turned out to be a requirement. For example, in the Philippines. In the Philippines, they cannot use a plastic credit for plastics that was recycled in Finland. So when Corsair learned about this new requirements in the market, they upgraded their product. And that is why the CSR 25 is more valuable because it has the potential to be more usable by companies. Now, the question here, which is probably on many people's mind, is what's happening with the original CSR and the buyback program. So the story was like this. The original CSR corresponded to a lot of orders, the one done for the first 4 years of the company. And these have a specific mechanism attached to it, which is called the buyback program. So buyback program, what it is exactly? Corsair committed that every time they sell oil to their off-takers, they will take 10% of that revenue from the sale and buy on the market and take out plastic credits from the circulating supply. And you have a first question here from Diveke. I'm sorry if I'm not doing a good job with your first name there. So the buyback program, you would like to have more clarification. So that's how it works. When Corsair starts to sell oil from 2025, every time they sell, they take 10% to buyback. And that has started. There was a communication by the company on this matter. And even more so, we even have it publicly displayed in the banner on Amplivo and CSR Now with the wallet. You know, everything is really transparent with this company. So here, this wallet is CSR retirement wallet, which is when companies are consuming the plastic credit. Then here we have the price of this week. Then here we have the maximum circulating supply, 9.4 billion. We started the year at 9.45, so that's already 50,000 plastic credit that got removed forever from circulation since beginning of the year. And here we have the Corsair buyback wallet, where we can see that they have bought back 6.5 million CSR since they opened that process. So here it is. The buyback has started. We can see it publicly on this wallet. And we have to remember one thing, because I was in discussions this week with my team. The buyback is not a commitment to buy every month or every week. The buyback is a commitment to buy when oil is being sold. And we have to remember where is the company, right? The company is developing very fast now on the industrial scale. And what was announced by the CEO and what we can see for ourselves in all of these videos, they've really upgraded their game on Instagram, as I hope you guys are following the Instagram. I put back the handle here, Corsair.international. You can see the progress in the two main factories they are developing right now in Finland and in Thailand, Bangkok too. And I was there myself just a few months ago. Now, it takes time, and I know it's frustrating. We want the things to go very fast, but I'm also in charge of creating a factory in Bali, and we are just getting started. We're about to buy the land, and I'm already also frustrated how slow it goes. So the truth is, when we do big business like this, it takes time. So at the end of this year, what is announced, and I believe is realistic, is that 30 machines will be producing oil. Right now, there's much less than this. The 5 new ones you saw in Bangkok too, they just finished the tests. It's a good test, and now they're about to start the production. And in Finland, they're still in the testing. right? So the buyback is not so big because it's connected to how much oil we make. We will start to make a lot of oil at the end of this year when all these machines are running. So you will see the buyback starting to really go up in amount from probably the end of this year when all these 30 machines go into production. So if you look at the graph of the CSR, it's probably going to continue to go down for a while. And you should not be alarmed by this. It's totally normal. People who have ordered 2 years, 3 years ago, they want to sell some of their CSRs. It's stupid to sell now when it's so cheap. It's really not a good move, but everybody's free to make their decision. So my take on it is that until those 30 machines go into full production and we start to have a lot of money coming from the sale of the oil, it's probably going to go down. And to be honest, because in December, in the biggest promotion of the first 4 years, the CSR was at zero point 0.3 cents. So probably it's going to go down to zero point 0.3 cents before it goes back up. But I am not concerned whatsoever. We need to zoom out and look at the long-term plan. When we'll have those 30 machines producing next year, just that is about $30 million of sale. So 10% is 3 million. Just those 3 million will be a total game changer for the market. And then the year after, we'll have maybe 50 machines, maybe 60 machines. So the story is as promised. It just takes time to set up all these machines, and I know firsthand. So you're seeing it go down because we're still installing all these machines. And for whoever thinks it's a smart move to sell your hardly acquired CSRs at such a low price, I would definitely think again. I mean, look at these guys. It's a market, it has ups and downs. Why would people sell when it's down? It makes no sense. And wait for it to come back up to sell. That's definitely what I would say to these people. So, DVK, I hope this makes sense, this answer. If you're happy with it, let me know in the chat. And let's go to the next question. Syed Aman, please tell me when we message a person first, we need to know the interest, or should we directly text them about plastic recycling services? What we are teaching in the training is that the best way to pique somebody's interest or curiosity is to explain to them, what if I told you you could help clean up the planet and make an income online? Would you like to know more? You can use different versions of that sentence, but don't explain, don't give a presentation, don't start to talk about the CSR and the market. I will not do that at first hand. All you want to say is, we can earn money cleaning the planet right now. And I would love to show you how. And then you go on a call for 10 minutes and you give the short presentation. You go step by step. You don't go into all the details of the CSR and the opportunity and the market right from the bat. I was doing like this before. I was explaining way too much, way too early. It's better to take the people on a journey step by step. So my answer for you, Sied, is um, invite people to be curious, to tell you yes or no. Do you want to know how today you can help clean up the planet and make money? If no, no problem. Too bad for you. If yes, okay, let's go on a Zoom, 15 minutes, I show you what we do. Okay, and then the next one is Diveke. There is a lot of fraud in the recycling business. I understood from someone in my network who set up not all plastics is suitable for use. There's many gaps in the system, which can all be covered by an external audit. Absolutely, we cannot recycle all plastics the same way, and Corsair never claimed to be recycling all types of plastics. I know firsthand, so let me tell you what we are able to recycle with very high quality right now. It's the white and transparent HDPE, LDPE, PP, and PE. That's already covering a lot of those wrapping materials, zip bags, plastic bags. And we are setting up now a R&D center in the Netherlands, which will start around September, October. And this research center, together with a university and experts of chemical processes, has one aim, amongst other ones, is to be able to take in more types of plastic waste, including different colors ones. because different colors modify the oil that we have at the end. So we need more research in order to be able to take in all the colors and maybe even some other types of plastics. So yeah, we're not doing the plastic bottles, PET. We're not doing the PVC and all this foamy polystyrene. But we're doing most of the other type of plastics. And it's a lot of work to prepare before putting in the machine. You can't even put all of these types together. You have to sort them out and you have to wash them with water to remove the contaminants. So the reason we can do such a high quality oil as we do is because we are doing a lot of work before it goes into the machine. And then when it goes into the machine, we did a lot of research to make it so efficient as we are now having a high quality product sold to Shell and Kera Energies. So yes, your network might say that they know better, but if you ask the questions, you will get the answer. Corsair knows better. They're experts at this process. Wonderful. Isabel, thank you for being here. How can I, as an ambassador, explain plastic credits simply to someone new who's never heard about it? Great question. The way I like to do is starting by, do you know about carbon credits? And if the person says yes, then you say, it's the same thing, same instrument, same concept, applied on a different type of pollution. And if the person says no, I don't know what is a carbon credit, then you have to think how to explain to a 10-year-old what is a plastic credit. Always keep it simple. So the way that I explain it is very simple. Every time the company is recycling this plastic, the proof, the ticket, is created. That's called a plastic credit. This ticket represents 100 grams of the plastic. So when you have the ticket, you have 100 grams. Now, why is this useful in the world? It's being used by companies to compensate their pollution footprint. So if a company is putting 10 kilograms out in the environment for this week, for example, they will need to buy a certain amount of plastic credits to compensate. So 10 kilograms would be 1,000 CSRs. Okay, simple. So I like to just say the plastic credit is the ticket, is the ticket of the recycling. And you will see Isabel in the training. I think you're in the training right now. This week we are training to present the plastic credit opportunity. You know, the slides that are saying comparison with carbon markets, the UN, the World Bank, and so on. This is the moment where you educate somebody about the potential of this plastic credit. Why it looks like everything is going to do like the carbon credit, except it's just the beginning. Wonderful. Anytime you want to ask me something about what I'm saying, just put it in the chat, yeah? Or raise your hand. We have a raise hand button. If you want to ask your question to explain a bit more, please let's do that as well. Okay, then here I see other industries or type of businesses we should prioritize when reaching out about CSR partnerships. Thank you for asking that. We are not being asked to go and talk to companies and industries. You might have missed this piece in the training. Later we will. Today we can, but we are not mandated. Corsair is not asking Amplivo people, please go and bring companies. We can, but that is not our primary mandate. And there's a few reasons for that. I was talking to one of my team leaders actually today about it. So if you want to be bringing a company, you need to already have a certain level of access into this company. If you talk to somebody who's not high ranking and they try to bring it up to their boss, they're going to end up saying, oh, we don't have budget for that. We will do it when it's mandatory. And I know firsthand because 2 years ago, I was starting to message many companies. I think I messaged about 1,000 companies, and then many wanted to have a call to talk about it. So I took 20 calls. I did 20 calls with 20 big companies to explain what we are doing. And they all got it. They all said, I understand you're doing the same thing as the carbon credit. It's great. We don't have budget for that. It's the truth. So then I got demotivated. And I understood why Corsair is not asking us to go and talk to companies. Because the truth is, not many are actually serious about making a positive impact. Not many are actually taking action for their sustainability. And the best way to bring a company is to talk to one of the executives, to the CEO or the other decision makers. If you get to speak to them and you explain, look, if you're the first company in your sector to do this, you're going to get a great competitive advantage because your competition is not doing it and it's not going to cost you much. And that's wonderful. And second reason why we don't want to encourage people to go and call companies is because there's no clear payment for us when we do so. So if you have a company like I do, great, let's acquire the plastic neutrality. If your best friend, your parents have companies, great, let's bring them in. Let's get their plastic neutrality. But I would not advise to go and reach out, cold outreach companies to try to get them to buy CSR. Because first of all, there is no plan for you to be paid for that. Of course, if you bring an enormous company that is renowned worldwide, of course, the company is always going to give you a commission. But that's on a case-by-case basis. And for that, you go up to your 5-star or 6-star leader and you explain that you have a high contact in a very big company, and then Corsair will take it from there. But for a small company like a cafe, a very small company, we're not going to go to Corsair and ask for a commission. It's just not appropriate. The other way is to have them buy in advance through Amplivo or CSR now. And then that way you get the commission. You can do that. But the business will have to wait until they get their CSRs in 10 months and 20 months before they can get their certificate. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know, Isabel, the primary mandate is not to go and find companies. The primary mandate is to find individuals or companies to order in advance through Amplivo so that we can clean up the planet, develop more factories, and create enough CSR and CSR 25 for the market needs tomorrow. That's what we're really here for. Oh, look who's here.
Yeah, I've been here a long time listening to you, learning
Great.
a lot,
I hope you like
learning a
myself.
lot. I loved everything that you said, learning a lot. And thank you everyone for being here. If I could just add to that, Thomas, you described brilliantly the mission with the plastic waste, with cleaning up the environment and everything else like that. But again, during the European tour, I was traveling with the co-founders, and I can assure you that we really do have the two missions. The one mission is let's rid the planet of the plague that is plastic pollution. And the other mission, and the co-founders mean it seriously, is to help people improve their quality of life by earning good commissions with Amplivo while we're helping to clean up the planet. We are seriously interested in people being able to sleep better at night because they're going to be able to pay their bills. We are seriously interested in helping people know that they can give the children whatever education or things that they need, look after parents, donate to the charities that you want when you've got more money than you need yourself. So this is another side of the mission, and it's really good to have co-founders who are serious about helping the partners in the network as well. Thank you, Thomas.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody from the Corsair group here who will call me after the call if I say something wrong. But I'm confident I know what I'm talking about. So thank you so much, Elliot, for being there. And please don't hesitate to jump again if you'd like to correct or add something to what I say.
Thank you. And I'm confident that I won't have to call you after this call, Thomas. But if you want to have a personal chat with me, say something wrong so that I have a reason to call you after the call.
Good one. Wonderful. Let's keep moving then. Um, we have a question here from Stefan. This project is largely reliant on government regulations. Where can we see which countries are regulating plastic recycling and what those regulations look like? Also, where can we see which companies have become plastic neutral working with Corsair? Wonderful. Two parts to your question here. I'm going to answer the second part first. Where can we see which companies have become plastic neutral with Corsair? Thank you for asking, because many of you might have not seen that in csrnow.com we have something called Hall of Fame. And of course, this is the public registry where we can see all of these companies when they actually, what we call burn, when they consume the plastic credit. And here you will see many. For example, here you see Joella 2025, 18 million CSRs, biggest consumption of plastic credit since the beginning of the company. So please have fun there. There's different filters you can put, the most recent, the biggest amounts, and so on. Now, another place where I would absolutely recommend everybody to go, should be one of your first go-to place, is the YouTube of Corsair. The YouTube channel of Corsair for me is one of their most mature, sorry about that, one of their most mature communications platform. You have really high quality videos here always posted. So whatever is, an important message that they want to convey, you will see it here. Every major collaboration with a big company, when they become plastic neutral, you will see it there. Okay? And then on top of that, you might know or not about the public due diligence folder, which I created for the network. You have in there details about what's publicly available. All of the public pages, the company presentation, the press articles, including all of the latest one in the big American medias, all of the corporate activities, industrial activities, the CSR plastic activities, and so on. Credentials from external partners. And when you go to the CSR piece here and you open that business model document, which basically sums it up, I put there a lot of information about the blockchain and examples, and you can understand more about it. Now, if you want to see who's working with us, you can go in credentials from external partners. And if you open that document, you will see there I put the extracts from Shell, Count Energy Trading, Huawei, all of the public announcements. And then you have an extract of the biggest clients we work with. And then you have the direct access to the videos. So the hospitals, Diversey, water bottle brand Loxley, the airport, the plastic manufacturer Lacofan, some hotels. Okay, so I just put the most important basically over there in that document. If you haven't explored this file, this is what I like to call a mine of information. You don't want to be sending that to anybody except yourself or your teams. That is where you will find the most detailed level of information regarding the project. So since you made the effort to be here with us tonight, here is the link. And please have fun and explore there. Okay, then the first part of your question was regulations. I really like this question because the answer is regulation is complex. It depends on many things, the country, the time of application, the type of plastic, and so on. So you can go and talk to ChatGPT, for example, and the more you refine your queries, the better it will give you an answer so that you can have a lot of detailed information about regulations. But what I like to do here for everybody is to just give a brief overview of the different types of regulations that exist, the major categories, and how Corsair is helping companies in that regard. So the first type of regulation, which we directly answer the need of, is regarding the manufacturing of new plastics. Since 2021, there is a tendency that has started to be in discussions in the European Union, which now is being translated into law. And that says for certain types of plastics, when a company is manufacturing these products, they need now to use recycled material coming from plastics to make it. And that's becoming mandatory. And that is why Shell, but also ExxonMobil, Saudi Aramco, Total, all of these big petrochemical companies, if you look on Google, they are all starting to do pyrolysis to answer some of their own need. That's also why Corsair is there. except Corsair specializes on that. So we're here to supply the needs of these big companies, and they don't possibly have the capacity to make enough themselves. That's why we're here as well. So that's the first type of regulation is those who make plastic products, they now have to put recycled plastics inside of that product from the get-go. Okay, so that scope is European Union. So all of these big oil companies, they are now doing that because they're the ones like making the raw material for their clients, for the brands that will make the bottle at the end or the wrapping and so on. So they're the first manufacturer. They need to make sure it complies with the regulations. Okay? So that's the first type of law. And this, the European Union is spearheading. It's more developed today about the European Union. Now, the good news is that those making products, plastic products, big companies, they have factories all over the world. And then they ship the products to go and sell them in different markets. So even if it looks like it's only for European Union, all the big oil companies are concerned, are involved, because they sell everywhere in the world. Now, second type of regulation that we have is, let's say, again, for the European Union, where countries have to meet a specific target, a minimum of recycling their own plastic waste. And the good news is that they are all falling behind schedule. And a couple of years ago, I don't have the numbers from last year, I think they are not out yet, but the year before, European Union countries paid more than 7 billion euro of fines to the European Union because they were behind. So, how do we help those countries? Well, for example, in Finland, when we got in touch with them and we started to explain what we do, they were really interested because by us making a plant over there, it helps increase the percentage of plastic waste they are recycling, which means that they are saving on fines. So that's why they rolled out the red carpet for us, because we're helping them save money just in fines, on top of creating jobs and becoming a taxpayer. So that's the second category, is when a country needs to meet specific minimum of recycling. When Corsair comes into their country, we're helping them to improve that score. And in Europe, they even save money from fines. Now, the third type of regulation is regarding the application of the Extended Producer Responsibility, EPR. The EPR framework, please, this one, if you're serious about our project, you should get a bit more knowledge about it. Extended Producer Responsibility. It's a global framework which is being rolled out in all the different countries with a different type of scope because it depends on the country what they want to do. But for example, in the Philippines, it's under this type of laws that they have made it mandatory for companies to pay to clean up the environment, to offset their footprint, up to 40% now, and then it will go up. But basically, if I make you a quick answer on this one, only the Philippines made it mandatory by law today. And it's already enormous. When the first country is doing it, many others are looking and they will take action very soon. Many countries are studying, and I know some countries are a bit more advanced than others in terms of uh, pushing companies to do that, including in America in some states. I think, Regina, you were telling me that there are 6 states today which are pushing for companies to make an effort on that. I know in Canada it's very close also to pushing companies to do it, and I heard in Chile as well. So I don't want to go more deep in regulations because it's an entire world and we're not lawyers. But at least you have an idea now of different types of regulations which are saying the same thing. There is a push to make plastic recycling and plastic cleanup more and more mandatory. And that is why with Corsair and Amplivo, we have the most perfect timing and context for what we do. The more time goes by, the easier our work is. That's incredible. It's like surfing a wave, except the wave is going up. Wonderful. I hope that makes sense to whoever was asking that question. I think Stefan. So yes, that's really the outlook on regulations. If you want to go deeper, I would definitely recommend talking to the AI, and they will really extract a lot of data for you to understand better. Wonderful. Now I see the next question there. Syed, is CSR credit going to be limited in future as like Bitcoin? It's not so clear your question, but I think what you're asking is the supply, how many exist will be limited. And the answer here is quite interesting because it's yes and no at the same time. So let me explain. Bitcoin is very powerful because we can't make more, right? There's only 21 million and there will ever be. So that's why it's interesting to look at what happens when new currency cannot be printed. Now, the CSR is not a cryptocurrency, is not a currency at all. It's called a real world asset. It's a ticket connected to the real world. So let's never talk about currency when we talk about plastic credit. So what I would like to say about it is for the original, for example, the first version that is today finished, you can't buy more. How many are there? Well, it's there on the banner on Amplivo and CSR now, right? I was showing it to you earlier. The supply is fixed. There will never be more than this number. So in a way, yes, like Bitcoin, there's not more that are being created. There we go here. Maximum circulating supply, 9.4 billion, which that represents 940 million tons, 40 million kilograms, sorry. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, yes, like Bitcoin, this number is not going up. We can't make more. But even more interesting is going down. Bitcoin is not disappearing. Yeah, there's just 21 million, but it's not going to move. This number is going down because when companies are buying it and getting their certificate, those plastic credits go to the trash. So they're gone. They don't count anymore. That's what's so powerful about a fixed circulating supply for the original CSR, for example. However, I said it's also no, the answer, because we keep recycling. Yeah, we keep expanding more factories, so we keep creating more plastic credits, especially through the Amplivo orders. That's the only way that they are being created. So for each version of the plastic credit, which is the original one, first 4 years, then 25 for 2025, 26 for 2026, within that version, the number is limited, yes, like Bitcoin. But we keep on recycling because we keep on cleaning the planet. So at every year, we make a new type of plastic credit. And that also allows us to upgrade them if we need too much regulations. So yes and no. It's limited for each version, but it's not limited in nature because we're going to keep recycling more and more. We have a big planet to clean. And thank you for all of you guys to be on this mission with us. We have a lot of work to do and we're doing great. Next question. Do you think Amplivo and Corsair will offer the CSR 26 super inexpensive like they did with the CSR 25? Very interesting question. My answer is there is no telling, and I'll tell you why. The starting price for the CSR 25 was based on the ending price last year of the original CSR, which was about 2 cents. So I think they will continue to do such a strategy, which is to connect the values of the previous year to the next year. That would make sense. But I cannot speak to that topic because I'm not one of the co-founders. So we will see.
I'm not one of the co-founders, but I can speak to that topic to say it has not yet been decided.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You have more information than me. Yeah, so we will see, and
Sometimes,
sorry, sometimes.
sometimes.
Yes. So yes, Regina, thank you for your question. It doesn't matter is the answer. It doesn't matter because as Amplivo partners, we're here for the mission, which is let's clean up this planet and let's help Corsair to build more factories. The actual price of the plastic credit, well, this is an alive market, you know. The more demand there will be, the more companies and regulations come into play, the price will have a different effect. So for our mission, for our work, it doesn't matter. If the CSR 25 was 5 times more than today, I would still do the same job. If it was 20 times less, I would still do the same job. So the truth is, I really want everybody to zoom out from the price of the CSR and CSR 25. It's very important. And the way that I like to illustrate that is by showing you the comparison here with the carbon credit price. Yeah. So this is the carbon credit price for the last few years. It was at 2 euros, 2017, it's around 80, 70 euros lately. But why I want to show you this graph is this. Since the market, the regulatory market, has not started yet, it means we're before it starts, right? But if you zoom here, and let's say you're in 2017, and what do you see here? It was up here, and then it went down all the way here. Do you think people panicked? Maybe. But if they had perspective, if they could just zoom out and see what's gonna happen, thanks to increasing demand, then you see the fluctuations here, they don't matter. So it doesn't matter if the original CSR is going to zero point 0.1 cent. It doesn't matter because we're here for the long term. We're here for the big vision. We're here to stay until this market explodes. So please, everyone, disconnect from looking at the price chart because it doesn't matter as much as you think. What matters is this wave gonna go up? And so far, everything tends to tell us that yes, we are very confident that the same milestones are happening, like in the carbon story 10 years ago, and that the world looks like it's pushing towards solving this problem with the UN and the World Bank and so on. Okay, so it would be very good for everybody to disconnect from those graphs. Doesn't matter so much. Because if you're here for in 3 years, in 5 years, you will be able to transmit a great wealth back to your families. For the next 3, 5 years, you're going to make a lot of income with Amplivo. And then all your plastic credits are going to become very valuable. So that's a double type of wealth which the company is giving us. And that answers back to what Elliot was saying before. The founders are really passionate about the mission, but they're also very passionate at helping us change our lives financially with a project that makes sense. So again, zoom out. Don't get so excited when it goes up so much. Don't get panicking when it goes down, because what really matters is 3 years from now. What are we talking about? Great. Next question, Arani, thank you for being here from Costa Rica. Will the CSR 24, so that's the original one, get down because of the new CSR? It went down, it can still go up. I don't understand the market. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the call, I explained a lot about it. No, the value of CSR 25 is not connected to the original one. They're two different worlds. The original CSR is finished. Everybody that was here at the beginning of the project got their hands on some. I think you have some. You're one of the last one to come. Probably the price gonna go down more until it reaches the bottom, which in my opinion will be the same price as we sold it for in December with a big promotion. And then we'll go back up once we have all the machines running. So no cause for concern whatsoever. Regina, the UN meeting is happening in August, maybe even in Sweden, about plastic credits. Wonderful. We'll be staying tuned for that. That's in 2 months. Siad, we will be ranked after becoming an Amplivo partner. Can you open your mic, Siad, please, and explain what you mean by that? I would love to understand your question here.
Hello, Thomas sir.
Hello.
I am from India. I don't know anything about it. I just joined in 2024.
You just joined in 2024 and you don't know
Yes,
anything about what?
yes. When I become an Amplio partner,
Mhm.
I will become any ranked persons.
So let me explain to you what is the rank so that it gives you clarity, and then please connect with your sponsor so that they can guide you into understanding more what's happening. The rank in Amplivo Partner is a rank of achievement for what you have managed to do for yourself. So it's like your career plan. When you graduate, you get a promotion to the next rank because you've done a good job. That's what the rank is. For us, the rank, when you talk about the rank, we talk about the stars. So when you're 1 star, it means you have done a certain amount of work already. So now you're recognized as somebody who helped the project by bringing at least 10,000 euros of orders on 2 different teams. Then you become 2 stars because you've grown your impact for the planet and you started to gather your team. Then you become 3 star and so on and so on. So you're not rank just because you arrived in Amplivo, you reach the rank when you're doing a good job. And then you get access to being paid more. That's the reward also. You get a reward for reaching the ranks. So if you want to know more about this, I don't want to do it here with everybody, going into the compensation plan. We have videos explaining the career plan so that you can really make sense of it. So please come back to your sponsors for somebody to send you that video or the document which is in the academy directly. Wonderful. I don't see more questions being put in the chat. Anybody feels the calling to open the mic and ask a question directly?
I just wanted to say that it's so good to see all of us here, especially the people that I like know and love, like working together on this incredible project. And like Tree Star and Mr. Fun are like right above each other on my screen. Giancarlo, I love you guys.
Hey, wonderful. Thank you, Regina. I'm so excited that you're working with us. Okay, guys, I'll give you a few more seconds. Any
I was gonna type my question, but
Yes, go ahead, please.
since you said open the mic. So when I'm introducing it for the first time, one of the first questions is, well, how much did you make? How much have you made? And if I haven't sold any of my CSRs and just they're all sitting there, I don't have any record or examples of that.
Yeah.
Regina has some, or what's a good response to that?
Yes, the good response is always the truth. So if today you haven't yet earned commissions, don't pretend you have. If today you haven't made a profit out of your plastic credits, don't pretend you have. But say what you have. So I guess you came in quite recently with us, or at least you're now ready to start partnering. So the best in that situation is to give examples of people that are right above you, like the sponsors of the sponsor, and ask them to share their numbers. Because it's true that people like to know numbers. So if Regina is your sponsor, Regina, you can share your numbers with Steven and say, for example, Regina, she brought this number of people over a certain amount of months and she earned that many commissions. And then we can give the example above Regina so that people can feel, yeah, it's real, it's tangible, it's real income that we're having. So that's what I would like you to do. Please simply refer to Regina and so on to give examples. And I would love to ask Elliot also to comment on this one because I used to like to give my numbers, give how much I'm making, but actually sometimes it's not the best because it can seem very far-fetched. What's your recommendation to this question, Elliot?
I like everything that you just said, Thomas. Thank you again for that. Something that I like to do with a new partner, something that's coming in, is if I'm going to say it, okay. If I'm not, I say, I'm doing fine. More importantly, I'm getting the support from my sponsor in the upline who are really making sure that I'm going to be able to earn money. And that's what we'd like to do for you. We work as a team here. So more important than what I'm earning or what the upline is earning is how much do you want to earn? How much are you prepared to do to help us on our mission? And have you set a goal for what you want to earn? Because if you know that, we'll be able to help you to get there. I've experienced in this very short time with the company that we work together as one team, that there's a community here, that everyone's interested in helping everyone. else. So if this is interesting for you, then you're in the right place. So I'd like to add that to Thomas as another arrow that you have in your quiver, another tool that you have. I really like to emphasize to new people, what's your goal? What do you want to do? And what are you prepared to do? Just as in the same way, I like to ask them. I know it's easy to say when you've already got a bunch of partners, but before registering a new partner, I do like to have them answer the question, are you willing to spend 5 minutes a day for the next 3 weeks to go in the academy and look at our trilogy? And that's all you need to do, get a really good foundation in this business. Because that's the foundation for the wonderful actors of change, which Thomas and Lumina and some of you here on the call are spreading out in the different languages. That's my take on this, Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. And Stephen, let's get you to start earning also. So then you can also give your own testimony. Even if it's little, it doesn't matter. Let's say you finish the training, you start to bring a few people. Okay, you made 500 euros this week. Great. So then that will be your testimony for a while. And then next time you made 2000 in 1 week, then you change your story because you're evolving. So don't hesitate to ask for your upline to share with them, with you some numbers. Yeah.
Can I tell you a funny story? Do we have time? Is this limited time, or can I tell you a funny story?
I'd like to use another 15 minutes so you can tell your story.
Guys, you got to love network marketing, and you have to love Amplivo because we can stick with integrity what we're earning. So when I was with the telecommunications company, I had a protege, a guy I was working with. He started earning a lot of money, young French guy, eager, and bought the sports cars and had all the young guys, 24, 25 years old, really going for it. And I was mentoring him a lot, but I was in France, so I went to one of his presentations, and he was on the stage, and I heard him give his testimonial. And during the testimonial, he said, and I'm only, I think 25, I'm only 25, I'm earning 150,000 euros a month. And people are going crazy, it's a lot of money. And I went up to him afterwards and I said, you're not earning 150,000 euros a month. I'm your direct upline. I know what you're earning. You're earning half of that. He said, yes, Elliot, listen. Here in France, everyone doubles. So if I was to say 75,000, people would think I'm exaggerating and they'd go down to, oh, he must be earning about 30, 35,000. But if I say I'm earning 150,000 euros and then they halve it, then they'll know what I'm earning. I said, don't do that. Don't do that. I said, it's not true. Stick with integrity. 75,000 euros is a lot. It's a lot of money. Lots of people don't earn that in a year. Yeah. It's network marketing. We don't need to do that here because there's a different kind of integrity. Yeah. Different kind of integrity.
Thank you so much. And I'm French, that's not true. I don't know why he told that. Anyways,
I think in his group of friends,
all right.
he was not as mature and wise as you. I'm gonna let you get on with this call. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to come back on the comment of Maria here in the chat about the next meeting of the UN in August. That meeting is about closing or at least making progress on the plastic pollution treaty. It's not specifically about plastic credits. Okay, because somebody here, Regina, was asking, the meeting is in August about plastic credits. No, the meeting is about the whole treaty of plastic pollution, which also talks about plastic credit, but it's not the focus. Yeah? Again, just out of integrity, I would like to correct when it's not good. Kenny, yes, you can have 30 seconds or more, my friend. Please share with us what you would like to share.
Thank you, guys. Really, really good and informative meeting today. So thank you. I have a good tip for you. That's everything you do will duplicate. And if you are when you do the job, if you tell people that they can buy a plastic neutral package for 10 euros, they will buy it for 10 euros. Also, when you tell them that they can buy for 1,000 euros, they will buy it for 1,000 euros. And this is a little bit of one of the question was, I will tell my story. I start to talk to my people, the closest people around me, they trust me. And I told them, I think this can be a life-changing business. I will go in with 10,000 euros. And my 7 closest people, all of them bought plastic neutral package for 10,000 euros, including my daughter, my son, the person who I love and they love me. So this is relations. It's all about relations. So think about what you duplicate. I know that people, not everyone can buy plastic neutral package for 10,000 euros, but you don't have to tell them that. If they trust you, they trust the project, and if they got the money, it can happen also to you. So just remind that everything you do can duplicate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kenny is a 5-star also. And Kenny, you're in Sweden. I'm gonna reach out to you to know if I'm not close to you so that we can meet in person. I'm in the very south of Sweden right now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so the point that Kenny is bringing is very interesting because the last 2 days I've had to say the same thing to my team. So that is not for customers, that is for promoters. So if you are an active partner with us, just make sure you don't say, oh, you can just start with 10 euros. I 100% agree with Kenny there. The first number you're going to speak out of your mouth, that's what they're going to go for. So when somebody asks me, what's the minimum that I can put, that I can buy? My answer is most people will buy between 6 to 7, between 4 and 7,000 euros. That's what I've seen after 3 years in my team. So most people they buy between 4 to 7,000 euros. Maybe not in one go, maybe in several months, but that's the range. Now, if you can't do that or more, no problem. We'll be happy to take you in with whatever you can contribute. And when somebody tells me, "Oh, I don't have this kind of money," I tell them, no problem. What do you have? 50 euro? We'll take you for 50 euros. However, I'd like you to go into the training and start earning an income. Because, if somebody has only 50 euros to prepare their financial future, it's probably time to get to work. Of course, I don't say that, but that's the energy which I say too. So when somebody tells me I don't have money to buy, I tell them, great, come work with me. Let's earn some money together. And then you'll be able to buy your own plastic credit. So that's the way that I do it. Wonderful. I don't see any more questions. Anybody would like to open the mic and share or ask something?
Hey Thomas, it's it's Regina again. I just wanted to say one more thing, specifically about Stephen's question as far as the whole ecosystem of how much have you made and this and that. For me, it was really important to actually take the 5% that I was getting, when you buy a CSR 25, when you buy a plastic neutral package, then you get 5% of that within the first week. So for me, it was really important to like go through the ecosystem of like actually being able to like withdraw the money and that was like an important piece to me. And so I just wanted to mention that like linking those things together for me it was like it felt better to have a whole picture and be like, yes, I've already done this and it happens and it works. And so I just wanted to share that.
Thank you very much, Regina. I don't know what you think, Elliot, but that's one thing that I've been really encouraging my team to do. Since now you get 5% of the plastic credit the same week, please do the whole process so you know. Just take a little bit, go to Bank, sell them, and at least you have done it yourself. It increases the level of confidence in the process.
Absolutely. I agree with this. Learn how to do it so that you can just say to people it works. Yeah, it really does work. It's a good idea.
Great. Okay, last call. Last call. Going once, going twice. Okay, we're done then. Thank you so much, guys. It's recorded. I like it to be not too long. Here is 1 hour. It's perfect because it's better to have a 1 hour recording than 1 hour 45. Thank you so much for joining today. If you like this, we can do it more regularly. every month, every 2 weeks. But remember that your first person to go to, in case you have some questions that something doesn't make sense or you didn't get it, is your sponsors or the sponsor of your sponsor. It's called your upline. In this business, you have a lot of people above you who are really interested in helping you. This is a career where you have so much support. Because imagine that when you bring somebody who buys, four people above you make money. Yeah? So you have at least four people who are so interested for you to be successful. Plus everybody above who is here to really grow the company and are passionate about the mission. So thank you for being part of this movement, because truly for me it's a movement. Let's continue the good work together. If you are feeling a bit lost, you're not sure, go to your sponsor, go to the community. If you feel you need more training on how to promote, how to start earning an income with this great community, ask your sponsors. There's many trainings available. I spearhead the training called Actors of Change, which of course has my color, my tone. It's also open for the whole network. So in case you're interested to join, just reach out to me or the community. Somebody's going to tell you how to get your hands on it. Thank you so much. Elliot, would you like to give a word of closing? I see you opening your camera.
Not at all, just to say goodbye. Thomas, great job. Congratulations to all of you as well for being here. And I do hope you'll do this regularly, Thomas. Once again, it's a great contribution to the community. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, everyone here in Amplivo this evening for taking the time. Thank you.
Wonderful.